Thank you. Alright. Alright, today we're going to have a video for beginners. My name's Christian.
And I'm Logan.
And what we're going to be doing today is the difference between the most popular formats and what sets are legal.
Yes.
I guess today we'll start off with Standard.
Yes, the wonderful, wonderful Standard, which is technically a constructed, which allows you to have, or you have to have at least 60 cards in a deck. You can have more, but the rule is you have to be able to shuffle it with your own power. You can't have help to shuffle. And you can have a sideboard, which also is in Modern 2, is a sideboard of up to 15 cards. Those rules apply both to Standard and Modern. But Standard is based off of a block rotation, which would be, right now, Theros, Born of the Gods, Journey of Nyx,
M15,
Cons, and after this weekend, or I think a little bit after this weekend, because this is the pre-release, Fate Reforged, and then Dragons of Tarkir will soon join that addition, also to the Standard of when this video was taken.
On a side note, Standard is actually about to change. The M16 core set is going to be the last core set, Wizards of the Coast Prince. And they're going to go with a 2 blocks a year instead of 1 block consisting of 3 sets and a core set. What they'll do is have 2 blocks, each one consisting of 2 sets. And it's going to be the 3 most recent blocks. So if Khans of Tarkir, Theros, and Return to Ravnica had been this format with the 2 sets per block, those 3 would have been legal, and Innistrad would have faded out or phased out when Khans of Tarkir came into play, but there wouldn't have been core sets.
Okay, now there is a difference between Modern and Standard, because there is Zergo the Helm Smasher, and then there's Lightning Bolt. I would try to leave you get a few minutes to try to figure this out, but timing videos and stuff. So we'll just let you think. I think you probably got it now.
You can pause the video.
But yeah, and then Modern, Lightning Bolt and Zergo is allowed, but in Standard, Lightning Bolt is not allowed because it's not in the Standard rotation. Modern goes from once Fate Reforged comes out, that will be allowed.
It'll be the most current set.
Most current. And the furthest back you can go would be the Core Set 8 edition and the Mirrodin block.
The original Mirrodin, not Scars of Mirrodin.
Yes, which Mirrodin block consists of Mirrodin, Darksteel, and the Fifth Dawn. And I would read the list of everything allowed, but you probably can look that up on Wizard's site or Google it. I mean, we're all in the age of technology now. Come on, you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully. Otherwise, you probably got telepathical powers, you deserve millions of dollars.
And you're probably going to win every tournament anyways, so...
Why are you watching this? Stop now. Save yourself.
Alright, one of the formats that has been rising in popularity has been Commander. And Commander is fairly unique among the major formats, because what you do is you have a creature card, and Wizards actually printed off some Commander decks recently that have a Planeswalker that are allowed to be your Commander.
But the role for the Commander is, the thing is, it has to be a legendary creature, not just any creature, sadly.
And the deck which you construct will be 99 cards plus your Commander. And every card in your set has to either be colorless or fit within your Commander's color scheme.
So like, Zergo here is a red, white, and black. So all your cards have to be red, white, and black.
Or colorless.
Or colorless, like artifacts, or Ugin, or Elderazis, for all you people that have money.
And I would like to make a note
and
of, if you control land, like if you're playing a black-blue deck and your opponent's playing green and red, if you manage to exile one of their cards and you can cast it, but you have to have the mana, you're not going to be able to do that, because if you have a land, it will provide only the colors of your Commander. If it taps for anything else, it's got to provide colorless.
Which bites.
So if you're playing Thespian Stage and you've used it to create green mana, it's just going to make colorless. So.
Yes. And then there's also other things for Commander. They also have their own ban list, like Modern. Standard is the only format I've seen so far that doesn't have a ban list. The reason why I'm talking about ban list now is because we're going to talk about Legacy and Vintage, which are those are
stupid.
Those are for the people that have money and are really good because they know all about the cards. I mean, there's probably some people that are playing Legacy and Vintage, and you're watching this and you're going, "I'm not good at Magic." You're better than probably most people because you're able to see things that most people don't see.
Or you have too much money for your own good.
Legacy allows all the cards that are from legal sets.
There is a short ban list, but it's...
The bans are for reasons. If you ever heard of the Power 9, you're probably going, yeah, that makes sense, or Jace the Mind Sculptor. Makes sense, but I think he's actually allowed in Legacy because he's awesome in some ways, because everyone hates blue. Haters are gonna hate. Vintage is the most powerful constructed formats. Constructed meaning the 60 card decks, 15 sideboard. I've kind of went over this already, slightly. This one allows the Power 9, but it's limited. You can have the cards that are on ban list for Legacy, you can have one of in Vintage. And there's also other rules for Vintage, and if you're really interested into that, you are going to have probably a lot of time on your hands to find out everything there is.
Wizards of the Coast, if you're a beginning player, Wizards of the Coast website has
Everything you're
some
looking
fantastic source material. They've got links to a card database which will show you every card they've ever printed. Especially for newer players, that's a great place to go.
Now, if you have friends and you like to gang up together and stuff like that, there's also a format for you. There's the team formats, which is most known for the two-headed giant. And it follows the same rules, except for Commander. I don't think there is a two-headed form of that one
I
at
have
all.
seen that actually.
Oh, that sounds scary. I just don't see
It's
it.
absolutely terrifying.
I don't see it here on where I'm looking, so I'm sorry. Then there is the limited format, and that is called Booster Drafts and the Seal Events.
And Cube?
Well, yeah, Cube in a way too, but most people don't. Cube is an interesting topic on its own.
We'll get back to that one on another day because that is a more advanced. You're going to have have been playing for longer. You're going to have more knowledge of cards, and you're going to have to sunk a lot more money into cards before you can do a decent cube.
Cube, you have to. The Cube is like Commander. You have to have one of every card. You can't have multiples, as far as I've seen so far. But we'll get back to the limited because Cube technically fits into limited. But so you have your booster draft, and each person gets 3 packs. They put them on the table. You start with 1 pack at a time, opening it. And for all you football players, yes, Magic even plays to you NFL football people that like football, because it's like a draft. You take one card that you think fits your team, and you pass the rest of the players on to someone else and going, have fun with those losers. As you're getting to draft from... So you're taking turns drafting from the booster pack. So don't get comfortable looking at the booster pack and going, oh, I want all the cards, because you're going to pass some of them off.
And my phone's exploding.
Oh, that's not good. That probably means a retake then.
Nope. Sorry about that.
So, then we get to the sealed deck. AKA pre-release is what they're most famous for. Because you get 6 booster packs. That's twice the amount of the booster drafts.
But you keep all of your cards. You're not passing them around.
Yeah. But with the limited formats, besides Cube, you build a 40-card deck. The reason why I said besides Cube is because Cube, if I remember correctly, or maybe I'm doing it wrong in my head. No, Cube, never mind, my bad. No, Cube also is 40. I had a brain bloof. Yes. It's limited, I forgot. Limited, everything's 40 cards in a deck. And I think there's other things. There's Pauper and Tribals and Single Card Singleton, which is a more...
I'm actually going to get back
stricter.
to drafting real quick.
Yes.
In a pre-release format, especially for the newer players. If Fate Reforged, which is coming out this weekend, they're doing a pre-release. You have to have some knowledge of the cards beforehand. It helps a lot. Also, Wizards is doing something where they'll have a seeded booster pack, which will you choose which color set you want beforehand, and that seeded pack will fit into that color set. You don't have to stay with it, but you need to think long and hard beforehand. And once again, this is for the newer players. Don't get discouraged if you go to a pre-release and do terrible. I've been playing Magic for 2 or 3 years now, and I've never done well at a pre-release. So.
Or you probably I've had one pre-release where I did horrible. I lost every game, and people look at my deck and they go, "How in the world did you lose? This thing's built beautifully." I've never seen a more beautiful deck. And there's some where you have probably the worst thing ever someone's seen, and
it somehow works.
And it somehow works, and you're just one win away from the top 8 of your group. I've had that happen.
Or you're
on both sides.
One away from winning prizes. Don't get discouraged.
I'm upset that I accepted a tie.
Yeah. But for new players, especially at a draft, don't get discouraged. Keep playing unless you just don't want to sink the money into it.
Time.
Yeah, time and money.
I mean, we can go into these forever and a day almost. There's also a format called block, which usually you won't see much, but that's usually draft, but you just make it to where you take a block and you use only the cards from that block to build a deck.
So if you were doing a Theros block, you'd do Theros, Born of the Gods, and
Journey into Nyx.
Journey into Nyx. And those would be the only sets you would draft from, or you could do Sealed for that.
So it's you gotta find what fits your groove. Some people are good at Vintage and Legacy, but they're probably not good at Standard because they're not used to things rotating around. Modern, I think, is probably they're making it where Modern is now more the easiest to come into because they're making Modern Masters. They're making a lot of these cards more easy to get.
I also, for a beginning player, if you're just starting out, you don't have to go with a certain one. There's a format called Casual. Doesn't make any money, but it doesn't matter as long as you fit within the no more than 4 of a card other than basic land, and you have at least 60 cards in there. Most people will go ahead and play.
No banned unless your group that you play with goes, "No, that card's stupid.
So if you want to do 4 Soul Rings in a deck, that's absolutely fine.
You probably would be frowned upon, and everyone would to kick you. But
as I said, Casual is a great way to get into it. There's less stress on, I have to be able to build this deck up to a certain standard. It's more relaxed.
Yes.
And in my opinion, it's more fun. Unless you have anything else to add, I think we'll wrap this up.
I mean, I probably can go on for these forever, because I like all these formats, to be honest. But, yeah, I guess this will be it, and we will see y'all next time.